Hi, I'm vocalist producer Mario Lewis, and today I wanted to share some insight and some opinions about music production and recording your vocals at a studio, and I hope you're able to learn from this video. Thanks. What I wanted to talk to you today about is AutoTune, and just basically my opinions about AutoTune. So what I wanted to say basically, because I know there's different opinions about AutoTune, and I understand that some people may see it as, well, you know, you shouldn't really be using AutoTune because it's the AutoTune that's doing the work for you. It's disguising your voice, and that's not really your voice. And they would have this opinion about really not using it. You should not use it really, you know. And then, you know, there's the other side, which I feel that when they use the AutoTune, they may use it too much, right? Now, this is what I'm gonna get into. In my opinion, I really do see AutoTune is a great music technology that's able to tune your voice to the keys of the song you're singing. At different levels, it may give you a kind of a digital sound to your voice, right? Perspectively, it's subjective, of course. Some people like that sound. Some people might not like it. It's a matter of choice, a matter of preference. However, the way I see AutoTune is that, well, it's like any other effect plugin in the sense, now speaking more in general, like if you have any other effect plugin, you may overdo it like a reverb or a delay, right? So I believe that obviously AutoTune is something else that you may be able to overdo, and well, that's not good, right? It's not good to overdo any effect. You want to be able to use those effects with just the right amount that you need for that song, right? For the vocals for that song, you know, not too much, not too little. That's when obviously the engineering, our artist part comes in for, you know, knowing how to mix a voice. And I'm not going to get deep into that because I'm giving you my opinion of just the AutoTune. That's debatable to a certain point. I believe that, well, AutoTune can be used. It depends how you use it. It depends how much you use it. AutoTune can be a lifesaver. I definitely would never discard this kind of technology that can be a lifesaver, that can help you when you're doing a project and get you out of maybe some issues you may be having with your voice. You know, sometimes people may not sing in tune, or you may not sing in tune, and you know, you don't want to have to do that part of the song, sing it all over again. Rather, if it's a minor fix, it's great for that, and it's a lifesaver for that, especially if you're recording somebody else and you can't get them into the studio, of course, to do that part again. It's much more easier to be able to correct it with a really good AutoTune and tune the voice, right? So you know, you don't have to go through the whole process again of setup and then getting them in and singing and all that. So it's a real lifesaver in that sense, right? Again, for me personally, I would not want to use AutoTune so much, you know, because it's, like I said, for me, I see it as any other effect that you can overdo as well, right? The preference part of AutoTune as well, where I really, of course, don't think AutoTune sounds good on certain genres, more genres that lean more towards like acoustic recordings, right? You know, I guess you can say like a jazz or a bossa nova, you know, these kind of songs. I can't really see them having too much AutoTune because of the digital effect that AutoTune has to a certain level to your voice when you push it really hard. But I think that you can use AutoTune almost in any voice when you're just doing minor tweaks, right? Fine tuning of your voice, right? Because again, we're not all going to sing in tune. You know, as much as, of course, I can stress to you that practicing your songs, practicing the keys, the lyrics and all that is very important. You should do that a lot, as of course, before your recording session, before your live show. However, it's not, your sessions are obviously not always going to go perfect. So you can do some fine tuning with the AutoTune to fix those parts in your voice that may have been a little bit off key. But again, like I said, I don't believe in overdoing an effect. It should be used just right, depending on what you're working on, depending on, what project you're doing. As well, I wouldn't, completely discard it, of course. So, like I said, it's that kind of technology is, we're glad that it's there when it is there, and it can be a lifesaver, right? And that's obviously very important with a lot of different other effect plugins that are there, to help you out in those certain situations. You're not always going to use a delay or a reverb or auto-tune all the time. So for me personally, I would use it, very little, not too much, because it starts with the artist. A good clean recording starts with the artist and the practice and work that he has put into what he's going to do, what he's going to record, his instrument or, vocals. So it starts with the artist and how much work he puts into what he's going to do, what he's going to record, his practicing of the melody and the vocals. Okay. Then, of course, it makes it a lot easier for post-production, for you to be able to, or the engineer being able to make it sound even better and give it the effects that it needs, right? But the good clean recording starts with the artist first. A good clean recording. And then, like I said, post-production. Post-production will be a lot better and easier, right? And you'll be able to do more with a voice that's clean, clear, and on tune, and it all makes sense in the end. So that's basically what how I see AutoTune. So when I use WavesTune to correct my pitches, using Rewire, of course, you have to go into Rewire and put that in a separate auxiliary track, and just go into the Waves Rewire plugin. And if it doesn't show up and it's giving you that message, which I've seen people get that message where it says Rewire not connecting, please check your settings. Basically, I have Studio One, so I can basically say for Studio One is you go into Studio One up here, you go into Options, you go into where it says here, I'll be careful, I promise, it says. So you hit that button and you go down and you look for Rewire, right? Once you select Rewire, it'll let you know if it's enabled or not, right? So here, for example, it says disable. Of course, I'm not going to do that. If it was enable, then obviously we know very well to press enable. So this is what you do in the case if you have Studio One. Then this is what you do in order to get that going. Other than that, it should be working fine. You need to find it and put it on one of the tracks. And then what happens with that is you get to work with the WavesTune in real time on your track. When you make any changes or effects or whatever that you want to do to that in the plugin, it'll be on the track as well, right? So that's what Rewire does for you in real time. Again, WavesTune has your basics for vocal tuning plugin, which I'm sure a lot of us are very familiar with now. With vocal tuning plugins, now they've been around since the early 90s, probably earlier than that. And basic setup for that is you got your hand here, which basically moves the screen around within the plugin. Zoom in with the magnifying glass. You're able to hear various tools that are able to mend your vocals, cut your vocals. The pencil here, little pencil icon to smooth out your vocal peaks, like a vibrato, for example, may have a little bit of peaks in there. You may want to smooth them out. Again, I've yet to hear a vocal plugin that sounds more natural. I heard about SynchroArt's Repitch, Antara's AutoTune, but Repitch, I believe, was going for more of a natural sounding vocal tuning plugin. However, for me, I tried it out and it sounds more or less the same as the other ones, but I know the tools in Repitch they're very effective tools as well. I advise you to try their trial for SynchroArts Repitch and try their vocal tuning plugin, because I think it has a lot of interesting tools in that as well. And I thought that was pretty cool. And again, I hear you can also, if you have Vocal Align Ultra, you're able to connect Vocal Align Ultra with SynchroArts Repitch plugin, which is pretty cool as well. I really like the Vocal Align Ultra plugin. I think it's amazing for aligning vocals, choruses specifically. I use that. I think it's great. Again, so this is Waves Tune that I use as well. It's very good. So you got your basic scale here, format corrected, root note for your song, chromatic scale, and this is basically the Waves Tune. They have a light version of this, which only features this icon here, pretty much, to do your work within the plugin here. And then that's pretty much it. They have a live tuning vocal, Waves Tune. They have a live one as well as this one. I use this one. I don't use the live one. Again, so this is it. Basic vocal plugin, tuning plugin, that is. I'm sure, like I said before, very familiar. I'm sure you guys are familiar with these plugins and that they all basically do the same. Yet to find one that sounds more natural. It's really difficult to find a plugin like this that sounds natural. To emulate the human voice is obviously, it's going to take a lot of time for technology to meet a standard like that. Again, so that's basically my opinion. Use it like seasoning, not too much, I would say personally. You know, let me know what you guys think about this, what your opinions are, and how you may use this, how you use the AutoTune or the tuning plugin. For me, I use it only when I need it in certain areas. Most of the time, like I said, it's important to know your song, appreciate it, and dive deep into that song. Your performance would be 10 times better if you do that anyways. And you can learn a lot from a live performance where you're able to carry a tune nicely on key, on tune, and you know, people appreciate that very much as well, and a lot to learn from that in your live situations. Anyways, that's all for now. That's my opinion on that, and see you in the next video. Take care, stay safe, and bye for now. Hi, I'm vocalist producer Mario Lewis, and I hope you found that video informative. Different things work for different people, but I hope my experiences and what I've learned was able to help you in your next gig or your next recording session. Thanks very much, and I hope you hit like or subscribe for future video updates, or please leave a comment below and share your ideas so I can learn something too. Thank you very much, and cheers.